Oh, hey there, folks. It's the E-Man here. I guess in this video, I'd like to take a look at some of the stuff I got for Christmas. I think. Let's see here. Oh yes, the Piranha Plant. Um, Lego. Yeah, Super Mario like Lego thing of the Piranha Plant pot. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna show everything I got for Christmas. One of my few better things here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, my brother got me this 4K gaming stick. Essentially, these have like some ROMs and emulators on them. I think it's kind of like the Android system. Uh, and anyway, my brother got me this for my birthday a while ago. It's a one of those handheld emulating things from Eberneck. I guess this does pretty much what that kind of does. Except it allows you to play it on like a larger television, obviously. I don't think you can add anything to this or whatever. I remember a lot of times in the thing it was saying, "Oh, well, the games aren't on it or anything," but no, there's games on it. The game stick. Yeah, yeah. Basically, you would stick this in the TV, of course. Of course, one problem though, it has to have a USB and it has to plug in too. It did come with an adapter, so in case you can't really fit it on the TV quite properly. Yeah, because some TVs, especially like the monitors I'm using here, if I wanted to use HDMI, I'd have to an adapter. That way you can hang it down from there if you can't fit it in case you have other stuff in your on your television. Yep. Oh, I have played this, used it. So a lot of the game, the really good collection on here is yeah, the really good collection on here is the MAME. It has some really good old school arcade games so you can play on this. Seems to work perfectly. I don't really have any glitches. A lot of the games are called weird, they have weird names and whatever. But I think mostly we have Super Nintendo, Genesis, and 8-bit Nintendo. But I think, as I said, MAME is probably the best thing on there. Yeah. Oh yes, it also came with two PlayStation 2 Lite controllers. There are what is it, 2.4 like laser or something. What? There's 2.4G wireless controllers. They use two AA batteries. Very lightweight. Well, they seem to work okay. They may feel a little cheap, but I mean, I think these are better than most controllers. There's an on and off switch. Then we got X, Y, A, B. Yeah, but pretty much it's got like pretty much all the buttons that PlayStation 2 would have. Yeah, no vibration function, but like whatever. Yeah, the battery door is easy to open. There's not like 50 screws to take out or anything. Very light controller, but feels good in the hands though. The buttons are yeah. The buttons are sticky. Okay. Oh yes, it does have the. Oh yeah, it does also come with the dongle, the well, the communication thing with the controllers. So yeah, like a USB, like a wireless, like any wireless mouse or keyboard uses the same kind of thing. So port right on it, yeah. And then it does come with the USB plug in order to power it. Dongle. Well, of course, then there is a plastic piece that also came on it. That allows it so that the HDMI port doesn't get broken off or something. Yeah, I guess if you store it, so you don't want to get you don't want to get that broken off or something. Because I think sometimes those can easily get broken off. Okay. Yeah, it seems to say the game 2.4 wireless controller gamepad by Light. What is it? The ROHS compliant. Yeah, wireless controller gamepad. So for the yeah, we have the 4K Ultra HD game stick. Yeah, this is the box it came in with two controllers, everything. Which is good. I mean, definitely want to have two controllers, especially if you're playing some arcade, some MAME games on this. Yeah, it pretty much uses like an emulator. I think that's kind of like, what is it, like Android or something? Kind of like that. Kind of like the Aberneck things. Yeah, like Alien versus Predator. I think there was yeah, versus Predator. I think there was some SNK arcade games around too, but probably do a video where I can capture footage of it or something. But it'd be nice to play it on my big giant television. Yeah. Well, I think it's cool because a lot of times you need like a computer to run some of these games, but I guess yeah, I mean most ROMs and emulators playing older games are pretty much got to work on can work on a potato. So yeah, there's not gonna. I don't think there's ever going to be any high end games on these game sticks. Maybe there is a. Well, that's why usually they make like a little console to have extra power. It doesn't use a micro SD card. That has all the games on it and stuff. I believe you cannot access any of those files. I tried to do that. Look at some of the files, but it won't even let you look at the files. So it's like, yeah, they want to make sure nobody like tries to get them for using. They have any copyrighted stuff, but most of the games on this thing are already like not released anymore, or they're arcade games, and it's of course it's can cost a lot of those old school arcade games are well, I mean they're breaking, they're falling apart, or they're super expensive to find, so and then it's hard to get one that's actually working to go fix it or whatever. But yeah, so that was like a few of my major things for Christmas. Yeah, my mother got me a wallet. Yes, and she also got me a new barbecue grill. We have a big, huge, old one that we've been using forever, but we have a new back deck on the house, so I wanted to be able to have a smaller barbecue grill, just have two burners on it, not be super complicated. Yeah, and my brother got one of those salt guns, so supposedly you can use it to kill bugs or something. It's like a shotgun that shoots out salt, I guess. It's like crazy. That got a stress ball. My brother got me one of those zip line things where you put a string in it, you the motor thing, you hit it and it makes like a big like circle with the string. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh yes. Let's see some other stuff here. Okay. Yeah, my older sister and her husband got me some Star Wars stuff. Star Wars, the complete vehicles cross sections. Yeah, let me show you an example here. Cross sections. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these for ships and you know, well, real stuff as opposed to science fiction things. Let's see. Oh yeah, well let's see. Take a look here. We got cross sections of an X-wing, like the technology. Shows the inner workings, like pretty much everything. Let's see. Yeah, from Episode One, Phantom Menace, we have the Republic cruiser that Qui Gon and Obi Wan were flying in. To go to Naboo. The Republic cruiser. Well, then it will also explain a few things about it, like what's unique about it. I guess what's unique about this ship is that a part of it can pop off, and it's like an escape pod thing. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. The DK Book Company. Well, pretty cool book. Yeah, if you wanted to see what was inside of an AT-AT, there you go. All right, then we've got yeah, yeah. I'm not really much of a fan of the Last Jedi. I mean, I like it, but I know it's flaws and stuff. But I got the visual dictionary of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yeah, basically everything that was in that movie is talked about and explained in this book. Okay. Introduction. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Like a look at like what the resistant fleet ships are and a little explanation what they are, but not like the cross section thing. It's just kind of information. Yeah, I think I have one of these for Marvel, I think, which is cool. These are kind of spiffy. I still love Star Wars, even if some of the newer stuff isn't really that good. But this is cool to have a visual dictionary. Look up whatever if I'm interested in that movie. I do actually own the Last Jedi. Okay. Okay, well I think that's pretty much it for what I got for Christmas. But yeah, it was. Oh no, I think it was good. I mean, I don't need. Well, as an adult, I'm already getting stuff. Yeah. Well, you can pretty much buy stuff almost all the time when you're an adult. So, yeah. Yeah. Now we hadn't gotten a lot of snow. I think we had gotten 4 inches last time, or 4 inches. I think last time it snowed. So we had some decent snow. Rather cold. Yeah, it was. It's 9 degrees outside right now, according to my weather. Yeah, I think on let's see. Yeah, I think on Sunday night we're supposed to get some snow, a mix, some ice. It's like, oh god, it's gonna be a lot warmer than it is now. Well, definitely gonna be a little bit warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to be 26 tomorrow or something. So yeah, wintertime in Maine. Yeah, it's like it's nice that we actually seem to feel like we're having a normal winter to a certain extent here in Maine. Because we had that one storm that came through and it was like 55 and everything melted. We lost all of our snow, and then in one day we got almost all the snow back. So hopefully we can have a normal winter. Hopefully a normal winter here in Maine. Yeah. Well, this winter hasn't really been that cold. This is the first time I think it's been cold at. I mean, it's usually expected to get cold at night. But whatever. Uh, Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna change the topic a little bit here. Yeah, because that was pretty much what I got for Christmas. Yeah, I hope you guys got some great stuff for Christmas too. Yeah, I don't usually get much gaming stuff for Christmas, but that's okay. Not really that big of a thing. But yeah, I do like that my brother got me that game stick. That was really cool. Yeah, he really looks up this stuff. I think on the TikTok store, really finds some interesting things. So yeah, some of those little mini console things are pretty cool to get. I guess if you get ones that are made that have the right stuff on them, that works. But anyway, I guess I'm more. Yeah, I know. Lately I've been doing a lot of Metroid games. Doing Super Metroid. Yeah, a really great game. I was like already playing it. I was already getting sucked into wanting to play some more. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the list there. Yeah, I am aware. Yeah, I have played the. Let's see the. I think it's on my computer here. Oh, the AM2R. Another Metroid 2 remake. Essentially, the remake of the second Metroid game that was originally on the Game Boy. Yeah, it was a fan game, great fan game. I know Nintendo went after them to kind of shut them down, which made no sense because they weren't charging money for this game. The game was free. I guess it had been updated to version 1.1, and then they were pretty much called that they couldn't do that anymore either. But you can find the game out there in the internet. There's no way that Nintendo can take it down completely. Yeah, that was back in 2016, and then yeah, and then we got on the 3DS, we got Metroid: Samus Returns. So I guess that's why Nintendo was really wanting to take that down. Maybe was because they were already planning on redoing it and re-releasing it on the 3DS. The 3DS was a very interesting console, a great console. I do like the 3D effect was a little bit. Yeah, I mean maybe it was a little bit hokey, but I did like the 3D effect. I remember playing a lot of games. I think I've talked about this before. Yeah, I own a 3DS and some games I was able to get from GameStop right before they quit selling it. So I got Samus Returns through online before the store got shut down. So I only have a digital version of that. And I've heard a lot of 3DS games are starting to quit working. And Metroid Samus Returns is trapped on the 3DS. I don't know why. Maybe eventually Nintendo will re-release that on the Switch or something. Because I noticed that Samus Returns somewhat uses. I don't know if it uses the same engine technically that Dread uses. I know that. I think I feel like Dread borrowed a lot from how Samus Returns is done. Like it has more kind of a 3D, 2D kind of look to it. Yeah, so it's kind of disappointing though. It's like because if a lot of people want to play this game, it's rather difficult. Well, and then if you want to capture for it, it's kind of difficult unless you happen to have a modded 3DS. But yeah, I went through and like found an emulator that can play 3DS games and got Samus Returns running great. Luckily, that game seems to be great to work on. And get some other 3DS games and finding out how to get it to work. Yeah, the Certa one, I guess I tried to go to the Citrus or whatever it was called. Yeah, that one particular one you can't really get from the website anymore. I guess they got in trouble. Some people were actually pirating stuff. But well, 3DS, Nintendo doesn't sell the 3DS anymore. They don't support it anymore. They shut down the digital store. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, yeah. So if you have a Samus Returns and the game card starts not working, then you could be, the game's at risk of being lost forever. If thankfully the ROM is on the internet, we're able to play it. Yeah, I probably got to talk some about AM. What? Oh yeah, the AM2R, another Metroid Prime 2 remake. I guess there have been a lot of ones that were in development, but this was the only one that actually like fully got done. Yeah, really great graphics, and it does kind of have to follow the Game Boy game because it's a remake of a Game Boy game. Yeah, if you've played the Game Boy game, you definitely know it's definitely a big improvement and advancement. So I'll be happy. Hopefully, I'll be able to show some gameplay footage of that. The emulator is quite nifty. Yeah, you can do yeah, a lot of interesting settings you can do on it. Like you can go because you have to set the double screen. A lot of times the double screen you just have your mouse ready. Yeah, have your mouse can do the touch controls. There's a lot of games, especially Samus Returns, uses touch controls, which you can access rather easy for the emulator. And you can use just about any controller. I would assume. Yeah, I usually use my Xbox, with my Xbox Elite Elite 2 controller. That seems to work pretty well. Oh, this controller has great battery life. Yeah, I found out when the yellow light comes on when it's half done, it actually still has 20% battery life at that point. Yeah, great controller. Yeah, this is a really great controller, built-in battery pack. Yeah, as I said, it has removable. Can remove some of the buttons, and then there's other trigger buttons you can put there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Some 3DS game. Well, much like the DS emulator, sometimes there's any touch controls you're gonna have to use the mouse because there's not really gonna be any other way to do it. Yeah, unless they figured out how to make that work on computers where you have touch screen controls. I don't know. Yeah, I see everybody's showing how there's some newer flip phones that have emulators that can play it, emulate it a lot better. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the Metroid games I've shown off on this channel, I've had to, use ROMs and emulators in order to play them. So if we didn't have ROMs or emulators, I probably wouldn't be able to play most of the Metroid games. Yeah, I do know that most of them you can play on the Nintendo Switch Online stuff now. Yeah, you can pretty much play most of most of them. I think you can play the original Metroid 2 on that, I believe, on the Game Boy games that they have on there. So yeah, most of them, yes, but we still Metroid Prime got remastered, but the second and third one, I have not heard. Yeah, I don't know. Some people thinking that maybe they're going to bring out the Metroid Prime trilogy. They might be bringing. Well, I mean, they might bring out the next two games. Might re-release them. I don't know if they will or not. It just seems kind of a weird thing. Well, I understand that Metroid Prime 2 probably wouldn't be too hard to do to remaster it like they did the first Metroid Prime. The third game might be interesting because I know since the third one was so integrated into the Wii control scheme, I wonder if they can. Yeah, I wonder if they'll be able to figure out how to make it work on the Switch because it felt like the Wii had this set of the controls, the way the Wii controls were and motion controls and stuff. And I think for the most part, I feel like the Switch 2 doesn't has motion controls, but they're not as sophisticated. Yeah, it's not as sophisticated as the Wii remote is. While I remember playing House of the Dead, use gyro controls. It's not really the controls that how the Wii kind of worked. So yeah, Metroid Prime 3, they probably have to figure out what they're going to do with the controls for those games. Well, because the trilogy versions, those were all redone to use. Well, the first two games were redone to use a Wii remote. So perhaps they have to figure out how to fix Metroid Prime 3 to be, get the controls figured out. Or did Metroid Prime 3 didn't sell all that well. I know Metroid Prime 2 didn't sell all that well. But, yeah. I think Samus Returns sold very well. Because I think a lot of people were surprised about its release. And I think Metroid Samus Returns, I think it was close to one of the last 3DS games, I think. So, yeah. Before everything got shut down. Okay. Yeah, so I'm basically going to be trying to do try to talk about some of the other 2D Metroid Prime games. Excuse me, Metroid games. The 2D games are supposedly existing in a somewhat separate universe, I guess you could say. Well, maybe not really, but yeah. So we try to say the Prime games are supposed to be kind of different than the 2D games, and that's cool. To have it's an interesting franchise. You know, there's 3D and 2D because Metroid seems to have done rather well going to 3D. Now, I've already talked about Metroid Prime 4, so yeah, I know that it seems to not Metroid Prime 4 is not as bad as Other M. I will tell you that. I think Metroid Prime 4 is definitely a lot better than Metroid Other M. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on Other M. I'm not really looking forward to it. I've seen some other people's videos about Other M, and I think it really is as bad as I think it is. But I found out that Team Ninja actually did Other M. So, yeah, Other M kind of has a weird 2D, kind of 3D. It's almost like it's trying to be the Prime Trilogy and the 2D Metroids at the same time. It supposedly even takes place right after the events of Super Metroid. So it's kind of between Super Metroid and Fusion, I would think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I think you guys will really like the 3DS Samus Returns. In case any of you haven't played it, I actually only found out about that game a little bit ago, and luckily was able to get it before the store went down. So yeah, I had to go on Amazon and buy the yeah, you got to go buy the game on there and then get the digital code, and then I had to go on the 3DS and go download it. Yeah, the 3DS uses SD cards, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I'm gonna get back on track and start doing some videos. Yeah, after the holidays were done, I was kind of ran out of steam a little bit, but some of that steam has recovered. Thankfully, I've got one more day before I have to go back to work. So yeah, back on Wednesday, I was at work. It was really slow. It was kind of snowing, so I was like, yeah, just let me go home early. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is like the fourth day. Yeah, it's like the fourth day. So tomorrow's my final day, and then back to work and back to reality, I guess. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe. Oh yes, I apologize. I didn't ask people to like and subscribe in my Super Metroid video. I guess I was kind of in a rush to get that out. Yes, I do apologize for any sound issues that were on that. I'm having some weird things. I don't think it's my video card again. I think maybe my speakers are dying. I've had that sometimes where I'll be playing a game and all of a sudden the sound just goes out, and then the sound on my entire computer won't work. I think it's my speakers. They're kind of old. I think they've fallen off my desk a couple times, so they've something inside of them, or yeah, I think that's probably what it is. My speakers. Probably had to get a sound bar or something. It would be easier to have a sound bar. speakers are nice, but I had to use dials. There's no remote control. I can't like adjust sound very well. Yeah, it's like whatever. Yep, but yeah, like and subscribe, and feel free to leave any comments about what you got for Christmas. Do you get any gaming things for Christmas? And what and if you guys have any opinions on Other M or Samus, Metroid Samus Returns, or the AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. As I said, that was made back in 2016, so yeah. I think it was a little bit before Samus Returns came out on the 3DS. I guess that's why Nintendo did the takedown notice. Well, anyway, I will see you guys. That's probably why Nintendo did a takedown notice of the AM2R. Alright, I will see you guys later then. Hopefully we'll be doing some more. Yeah, I'll be doing some more videos of Metroid, and yeah, I may even cover one very another divisive um Metroid game. Yeah, I probably do Metroid Prime Hunters and whatever. Okay, sorry. Okay, we're done now. All right, see you guys later. Bye.